You won't believe this flight attendant's heartbreaking discovery about her husband on a routine flight. Lena gasped, her heart seizing in her chest. It couldn't be real. No, 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 she found herself murmuring. This can't be true. Yet she couldn't tear her gaze away from the end of the airplane aisle. She stared at him again. Those warm brown eyes looked identical to his. But how was this possible? No, it couldn't be. She looked again. And again. No way. She wanted to scream, but her lungs refused to cooperate. Her whole body felt numb and frozen. All she could do was stare in disbelief. She studied his familiar brown eyes, the shape of his face, his rough hands that she knew so well, hands that had held hers tenderly. This was impossible. She kept staring at the man for almost 10 minutes, but he didn't seem to notice. He was busy unpacking his bag and preparing for the flight. Meanwhile, Lena's world had turned upside down. Her mind spun. This had to be her husband. But how could it be him? And if it was him, why was he sitting here on this plane, unaware of her standing nearby? She was sure she was looking at him, yet she was equally sure that he couldn't be here. Her mind began to wonder, could he have tricked everyone, even her? This chilling thought sent her reality spiraling into chaos. Just minutes earlier, her mood had been so different. She had mentally prepared herself for the upcoming flight. It was her first month back at work after that horrible day, and though it was busy, it provided a much-needed distraction. Her job as a flight attendant and the interactions it brought helped her feel better after the tough time she had been through since the previous year. Before boarding the plane, she took a deep breath and forced a fake smile. She had told herself that if she kept pretending to be happy, eventually her body would believe it too. So she briskly stowed away luggage and inspected overhead compartments, comfortably slipping into her familiar routine. Her colleagues chatted animatedly around her, eagerly discussing their weekend plans post-landing. She attempted to soak in their enthusiasm, hoping it would quell the uneasy feeling rumbling in her stomach. This flight signified not merely her return to work, but her re-entry into life. She needed to believe she was prepared, that the shadow of the previous year had faded enough to allow her to function again. But then, just as the plane was preparing for boarding, she spotted him. It was as though her heart had abruptly ceased to beat. Her body became a statue and a deafening silence enveloped her world. What on earth? Lena's heart hammered wildly in her chest as she gaped at the man seated at the end of the aisle. Her body froze, and all she could do was stare at the man in seat 37A. What on earth was he doing there? This couldn't be possible.